And there we are. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for those people who are joining me live. If you are watching on the replay or you are listening on the Act on This TV audio experience on Spotify or iTunes or Stitcher or wherever else you get your podcasts from, thank you so much. Do come and join us one Monday night live if you can, because you'll get to join in the chat. You'll get to communicate, hang out with everyone else in the community, like all these amazing people on Facebook right now. Nicole, how you doing? Stephen's in the house as well. How you doing, Stephen? Rachel is here. James Gordon, how you doing? Dawn, everyone's turning up tonight. Nick, Liz. It's all happening, isn't it? Right, well, we've got loads to discuss tonight. I'm going to be playing out... Well, actually, I've got a whole list of things. I'm going to be playing out some videos for you just from last week's Act on This member-only Zoom session that we held with, in my opinion, the greatest headshot photographer in the acting industry, Mr. Tony Blake. Super, super lovely guy. I pushed him way out of his comfort zone to come and do a Zoom session. He is always the man behind the camera. He's a genius behind the camera. I'm pushing him to do more things in front of the camera because I think he needs to promote himself more. Not that he needs more bookings. He's one of the most, well, I think he's the most talented photographer for headshots, for actors' headshots in the industry. So he's certainly, constantly booked up. But I just want to give him a little bit more confidence in front of the camera. For those, let us know in the chat if you're here. For those who were on that session, let us know what your biggest takeaway from that session was. If I go over to the website, I can show you, if you are not a member, if you click into the preview features section. For those on the audio experience, apologies, you're not going to see any of this. But you will see the session there. It says, getting a headshot that actually lands you auditions with top headshot photographer Tony Blake. It's a 2-hour session. And I know you might be like, oh God, what can you talk about for 2 hours on headshots? Is it really that important? It is really that important because your headshot really is the first thing in 90% of cases that a casting director will see, that an agent will see. If you are tweeting someone, hopefully you've set it as your profile picture, so it's what they will see, on various social media platforms. And it is the thing that very often could be the difference between them deciding to click on your show reel and actually watch you act, which every actor, that's the whole point of reaching out to casting directors. It's like, here's my show reel, look at my work. They might not get to that if they look at your headshot and it's amateur, it's not been taken by a professional photographer, or it's completely incongruent with your casting type and what you're actually pitching yourself as. We go into this in real depth in the session, but a lot of actors just fall into the trap that I see anyway, of getting headshots that they think they look good in terms of, that's a shot where I look badass, that's a shot where I look really cool. Where in real life, they're a bit like me. They're a little bit not badass and a little bit, sort of awkward and like Alan Partridge. So I could look mean in a picture and be all sort of like blue steel into the camera. And I could sell that as my brand, and a casting director might go, oh, okay, yeah, he looks the type that I'm looking for. And then I walk through the door and my entire demeanor is not like that. I'm not saying you can't act the way you are in a headshot, but if it's completely against your natural type, it's going to be a lot harder for you to play that role than someone who is just naturally like that. So you don't want to missell yourself. We go into like so much depth in this session. I'm going to play out a little mashup of what took place on that. It's only 2 minutes of a 2-hour session. And then I've got one clip in particular that I just want to expand on because I see actors making this mistake all the time. And I want to kind of just nip it in the bud so that you don't do it anymore, because I think it's a big mistake. But here's a little bit of what you missed. Over 2 decades in the game, and in my opinion, the best headshot photographer in TV. Welcome back, Mr. Tony Blake. Tony, I'm so excited about this. How are you? This could be potentially the most important Zoom session that we hold this year. And I know that sounds melodramatic because you'd be like, well, Tony's not a casting director, so he can't get me a job. Like they're just headshots, aren't they? No. Why is it important? Because your headshot is very often the very first thing that casting directors and agents, if you're looking for an agent, are going to see.
Before you start, you need a pretty clear idea, of the direction you want to go in as far as, especially casting type. The most successful shoots are when people have a fairly clear idea of what they would like to achieve, and give or take a top or two, they bring pretty much what they need, and it's, you know, this is for this is for that, this is for that.
So this is called the NOW framework. N stands for need. The O, Tony, this is probably what you want actors to do, is for organize. The W stands for who.
What are we trying to achieve here? What do you want to leave with? Something that's this is very much a now picture.
Instantly, what kind of role is coming into your head? Because this is what casting directors are going to do when they see your shot.
Determined.
Yes, determined, yes.
Determined, focused, knows what she wants.
When I come, is it helpful to show you photos that I've had done before that I did like and didn't like, or is that not really relevant?
I know a lot of actors don't like to show their teeth as much, so that's why they like smile, but they don't really like to show themselves. So is that a thing that is a requirement these days, or is that just do whatever it is?
Just be comfortable who you are in front of the camera, because your face is perfect for somebody. You know, you are, everybody's individual, and it's important that you mustn't try to be anybody else.
Oh, hang on. I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the web button. I meant the camera button. Actonthis.tv. If you want to, if you've not got a membership, if you get a membership to the website, you will be able to unlock the full 2-hour chat with Tony, plus about 400 hours of previous sessions with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, and directors in TV. And you will get access to, you'll get invites to weekly sessions with people like Tony every single week. You know, the biggest names in the game. I'm going to show you who is on tomorrow night shortly. But yeah, who's in the market for new headshots? Let me know if maybe you have fallen into that trap where you might have got a shot that you think, you know, looks good, you look cool in. Maybe you like it because it doesn't look like you do normally. So you're like, I look a bit edgy in that picture. That's a bit dynamic. I look a bit, you know, there's like a bit of darkness there that I don't normally have or whatever. And then you've not got in the room with that headshot. Maybe it hasn't worked for you. It could well be that it's just not authentically you, and you need to start selling yourself a bit more, you know, as you need to embrace a little bit more of who you are. And then when you're going to your next headshot shoot, use that NOW framework. I explain it all in the session, which is really figuring out exactly what you need in the moment, like in the moment now, for the role that you will be going for now, the level of role you'll be going for now. So if you're brand new to the industry and your level of role right now is going to be 3 lines in Coronation Street, well, you know, what is your ideal casting type for that show? How can you show that in a headshot? What do you need? Okay, how can you get organized to make sure you get that from your shoot? And then who, the W stands for who is going to be receiving that shot once you've done it. And it means you can work backwards from exactly what you need, so you can guarantee when you go into your shoot you're going to get it, and you're not just standing in front of a photographer hoping and just praying to chance, to God, whatever you believe in, that this photographer is going to snap that shot that, you know, is going to be the one for you. Let us know. I'm just going to read a few comments out. Saskia needs a Scottish actor because she's murdering an attempt at a Scottish accent and could use some help. Saskia, have a look in our Facebook group, in the Acts on This Facebook group. Search for Nicola Doherty or Lorraine Monaghan, Monaghan. Both Scottish, beautiful Scottish accents. They will help, I'm sure. Lovely, lovely people. Definitely, I think would be a good bet for you. Max, how you doing? Good to see you here. Maya rhymes with fire. How are you doing? Hope you're well. Inez is here as well. Loads of people have shown up tonight, which is good. Julie, I've just realised, Julie, you mentioned, you just realised you're the deaf actress. I'm so sorry. I don't know how. I always subtitle the micro content, so the micro content that I have just put out, I just shown you, obviously, it's got subtitles on it. Does anybody know if Facebook has any kind of auto captioning option where it will, in real time, make captions for, you know, people who would need those for accessibility? I'd love to know if that is the case. And Julie, massive apologies if you struggle to take in this content. I'm a big advocate of accessibility. I'm visually impaired myself, so I know how important it is. but I don't know how I make that happen on Facebook. So if anybody does know how to make that happen, will you please let me know in the comments now, and I will do my absolute best to implement that for sure. Let's have a look what else is going down. Brian, how you doing? Good to see you here. Christian said it was good to be on there with Tony. Yeah, Christian, you got to ask a question. That's what we do on these sessions as well. People jump on to speak to our special guests as well. And Christian's even booked a session with him. Amazing, Christian. That's wicked, man. Tony Ross is here from the States. How you doing? Facebook does captions with stories, says Tony, but not sure if they auto caption with regular posts, which they should. Yeah, I'm not sure in terms of live. I don't know if it will generate captions for a live, because obviously I can't. I don't know what I'm going to say to be honest with you. So I would need Facebook to be captioning this as we go along. So yeah, if anyone Google it for me, do a little bit of research, and I will do the same. So I'm going to play one more clip from Tony's session. Which is just something that I see actors falling into all the time when it comes to choosing their shots. And I think when actors come away from a headshot shoot, they can often be overwhelmed by the amount of pictures they get back because they didn't know what they needed when they went into the shoot. So because they don't have clarity, they don't know what they need from that session. So then when they get 500 shots back, they become completely overwhelmed because they're like, oh my goodness, I don't even know what I'm looking for. That would be so much easier if you went into the shoot knowing exactly what you needed. So what I see actors doing all the time is posting their shots on Facebook, right here where we are live tonight. And they ask complete random strangers who don't know them to choose their shots for them without knowing their casting type or anything about them, how they move, how they sound, how they speak, whether that's congruent with the shot, whether they look like their shots, whether that would fall into the kind of roles they would be seen for right now. So it's just 2 minutes and my 2 cents on posting your shots on Facebook. Stop it. Honestly, it's a bad move. This is a massive, massive, massive mistake that I see. And this, I think, ties back into not being confident in your own self-awareness. So ultimately not wanting to make a mistake, not wanting to take responsibility and for it to be on your shoulders. Actors will post literally 100 thumbnails from their contact sheets. It goes, hi guys, just looking to choose my my new headshots. Just wondering if you could give me, what are your favorites? What are your favorites? You've posted it in a group of 10,000 actors who don't know you. They don't know your work. They don't know what you're going to be seen for. They can give you a little estimate of what they see you as based in a picture, but it might not be authentically you. Don't ask your friends and your loved ones if they're not in this industry, because they'll just tell you look great in every image. And the only person, in my opinion, who should be choosing your shots really is you, because you should have the confidence enough in yourself to know your casting type and what you want from these shots. But if you're going to have any dialogue with your agent, because then you can say, what are you actually putting me up for? And this is before you even get new shots taken. What are you putting me up for right now? What are the kind of roles we're going for? Have I got what I need in my existing shots, or do I need to take new ones?
Yeah, I always say don't ask too many people. If you want me to send out your proofs to somebody else, then that's fine. I always say actually you and your agent, really.
Yeah, I agree, man, 100%.
Just I'll fire it out and like that, and you can then battle out between you in a way. But the problem is you ask too many people. It takes people months to get back to me, by which time probably need new shots. But I think it's very important not to ask too many people, because for the very reasons you say that you do hear people say oh, mum would like this shot, my mum would like this shot, whatever. And I think
what's that one for the fireplace? That's fine, but it might not be the one that you use to get work.
I think you can't ask too many people. Basically, I think that's definitely important.
actsonthis.tv if you want to, as I say, open up the full chat with Tony. Thanks for the feedback in the comments there. Someone was saying that you can add auto-generated captions by clicking on settings, then viewing, and make sure auto-generated captions are turned on. So is that in my settings, Alex, as the broadcaster? Or is that, I think it must be, mustn't it? Now, I don't know if I can go into my settings in the back end and No, I can't now. It's actually live. But I will look at that for next week. Because somebody, to help Julie out, could somebody write that as a comment, just or maybe paste a link to the article and say Ross is going to look at this for next week, Julie, just if she can't understand me right now. If someone would be kind enough to just write that to her, that'd be great, and we will do our best to include everybody, because that's what this community is all about. So yeah, if you want to get access to that full chat with Tony, get yourself over to actonthis.tv and get a membership. You will unlock that along with loads more, and you're going to get an invite to something super cool that I am hosting tomorrow night with one of, I think, only 2 BAFTA-winning casting directors in the world, because BAFTA until 2 years ago never gave out awards to casting directors. It's about time that they did, and I hope every other award ceremony follows suit. But tomorrow night, talking of headshots, look at this guy's headshot. I've got a copy of it here. Mr. Des Hamilton. He's Scottish. He's from Glasgow, Saskia, if you were looking for a Scottish accent as well. Des is an incredible casting director. He's responsible for some of the biggest films and TV out there. He won his BAFTA for casting Top Boy for Netflix. He also cast the Academy Award-winning film Jojo Rabbit. I think he might have done a project recently, a brand new project that's kind of been quite secretive, that's going to be massive on, I think it's a police drama. Don't quote me on that, because that's just kind of like what I've heard on the grapevine. But we're going to find out tomorrow night, basically, if we can. If he's not under NDA for his projects, we're going to find out tomorrow night what is going down in Des's office, what is going down in general in terms of what Des has been working on this year, his casting process, his team, how you get in touch with his team, how you get on their radar. We're going to sort of demystify the whole process. We're going to stop people being scared of approaching casting directors, right at the top of the tree, like Des. I've never spoke to Des before. I've never had the pleasure of auditioning for him, but apparently those people in the community who have reached out to me today to say how amazingly nice and kind the guy is. I know he's been holding some general auditions with members of our community as well. So it's great to see that he does that. And he's also really big on the more non-traditional routes of casting as well. And it might, maybe a lot of actors think it's controversial, but he has found some of the greatest actors, out there via street casting. And a lot of actors will be like, oh, God, that's sacrilegious because, unless you've trained at RADA, you shouldn't be an actor, which is nonsense. If you've got talent, then, we want to see it. Regardless of whether you've, trained traditionally or not, you have to train. You've got to, hone your craft. But he casts a lot of This Is England, the original This Is England, people like Thomas Turgoose from street casting. He's very open to discovering new talent, who haven't come up through the, the more traditional routes. He's just an incredible guy and a great contact for any actor in this industry to get in front of, basically. You will want to make sure that, you at some point get to audition for Des. So if you want to get involved in that, that's happening at 7:30 tomorrow. I should have a little slide here. Yeah, casting Q&A with BAFTA winning casting director Des Hamilton. That's 28th of September, so that's tomorrow as I record this. Go to actonthis.tv/live. If you want to get your ticket, I'll just go over to, well, it's not even a ticket. If you get your membership, you get access to every single one of these that we do. We do this on a weekly basis. If you go over to actonthis.tv and look at the broadcast schedule, you'll get access to this one with Des tomorrow. You'll get access to the one next week with one of the best agents in the country, Deborah Wiley from Independent Talent. Independent, obviously one of the biggest agencies in the world, look after some of the biggest names in the entire industry. You get access to one of these sessions every single week, 2 group coaching sessions a month on every other Friday called Rapid Fire Friday. You get access to a social meetup as well on the first Saturday of every month, 24/7 support in our forum. You get access to the to the iPhone and Android app, so you can take all this stuff in on your phone, on the go as audio or video. And you get it all for less than what everybody else is charging you for one workshop. £6 a week. You'll get access to everything. £24 a month, basically. There's not a single person out there, charging that for just one nonsense workshop where they just cram in 30 people into a room and go, yeah, do you want to do a script for 2 minutes? Right, nice one. Thanks for that. See you later. pointless. So yeah, get yourself involved. actonthis.tv/live if you want to, and come and get involved in all of these every single week. So next up on my list, so we've done Tony. Let me get the highlighter pen out. I'm going to scrub this out. We've done Tony. We've spoken about Des. Right. What I want to talk about now is it's the last week of September, isn't it? We're going to be in the last quarter of 2021 next week. And I'm a massive advocate. I mentioned this last week on the broadcast, but I'm a massive advocate of actors getting clarity and sprinting into the final quarter of the year, because 95% of actors crawl into it, gutted that they've not, again, oh God, it's been 9 months and I still haven't got a TV job, and they write the rest of the year off, or this has been really quiet. I'm so sick of actors posting that it's quiet. One person posted it's quiet on Twitter the other day. There was a thread. This is one actor who just hasn't made opportunity for themselves this year. It sounds brutal, right? But that just is it, right? If you have not had the opportunity you want this year, you have not made the opportunity for yourself, right? That just sounds bit cruel, but I hold myself accountable to that as well. If I haven't worked, it's not my agent's fault. It's not a casting director's fault. It's not a director's fault. It's my fault entirely, 100%. The buck stops with me. I saw someone post on Twitter, oh, it's been so quiet. And then 50, 60 actors underneath. Yeah, don't worry, bud. It's just quiet. Yeah, it's really quiet. No, it's not quiet. It's not quiet. It's really busy, actually. There's dramas being produced every single month. Big stuff. I was supposed to go this Friday to the read-through of a new BBC drama, a pretty harrowing drama based on the whole Jimmy Savile, well, his life basically, and the horrific things that he ended up doing. Steve Coogan is playing Jimmy Savile. That's called The Reckoning. That's, the read-through for that is on Friday. We saw on TV just last week or the week before Jack Thorne's Help. We've got, whilst we've been in lockdown, a massive drama with Martin Freeman called The Responder's been going. We've just had announced that Waterloo Road is coming back. Obviously, all the serial dramas have been going the whole time. Multiple episodes of that being shot every single week. There's so much work out there, right? It isn't quiet. So let the other 95% of actors moan about how quiet it is, because we all know it's not. And in this last quarter, it is down to you and us as a community to help each other out, to make sure that we are pushing for all of that work that really is available. And we'll just have us 5% who go, right, actually, we know there's loads of work out there. Let the other 95% whinge and moan about how difficult it is and how it's quiet it is, because it isn't. And we'll gobble up all the work. So what I want to know, basically, I need your feedback now. For this last quarter, we've got roughly 10 actonthis.tv Zoom sessions left, okay, for members of this community. I have booked roughly 4, okay, that I've confirmed, and they're all brilliant, right? I've just shown you 2. There's another 2 that I'm not going to reveal until next week or the week after. So that leaves us with 6, and I want to know what you want those 6 to be, basically, in terms of from what area of the industry. Do you want more casting directors? If so, what specific casting directors who we've not had on before do you want? And I will aim to get them. I can't promise you, but I will do my best to get them. If there are actors who you would just love, and think big, I can't get The Rock on or anything like that, or Will Smith, but UK-based TV actors, even if they're right at the top of the game, we can probably make that happen. Directors, writers, producers, what do you want? I want you to tell me. I'm going to dive into the comments and see how I can help you, as a community, and how we can all kind of help each other. So I need to know that, because if you can get clarity on what it is you really need to succeed, if there was one thing, if you're like, you know what, I always ask that question. If I'm feeling stuck in anything, I'm like, what's the one thing that if I had now, or I had access to, or one bit of information, if I knew, what is that one thing that would make everything else easier or unnecessary? Shaheen Beigrich, freaking good call. And I've spoken to Shaheen twice about this. I'm going to get in touch. I'm going to write this down, because that's got to happen. We've had Johnny Bouton on from Bouton. That's a guy I went to school with. Johnny Boutwood. Le Bouton. Johnny Boutwood from Shaheen's office quite a while ago, though. Not Johnny Bouton. He's a completely different chap. But Johnny Boutwood from Shaheen's office on before. I'm going to just write her down. Because Shaheen's lovely as well. I think she would do it. Jenny Radcliffe at Corrie Liz is a tough one. because she's kind of the people who are at ITV and BBC, although we did have Emma Sylvester on from Holby City, the casting department of Holby. They're a little bit more. They've got a bit more trepidation to do stuff because they don't want to feel like they're talking on behalf of the network. But I can but ask, can't I? I have asked Jenny in the past. She'll probably hate me if I ask her again. But for you, Liz, I will do that. So Jenny, we're going to try and do that. Let's have a look. Kelly, you want actors from Coronation Street? That's funny because I don't want to spoil it for you. Might have just sorted that out, Kelly. That's really funny you said that. Because, I might... Well, that's happening, basically. Don't worry about that. Christian, Andy Pryor. So Andy and Ree have been on before, quite a while ago, though, over a year ago. I have been in touch with Andy earlier this year, and he was absolutely smashed with Doctor Who. But I'll check in with him again. Writing him down. Andy's wicked. Andy's a big supporter of Acts on this as well. He's always been massively supportive. Alex is saying John Cannon. There's a few people for Michelle Smith as well, because obviously Michelle's going to be doing the new Waterloo Road as well. Let's have a look. So Michelle Smith, Maxine Peake or Leslie Sharp, says Inez. I've got Maxine Peake's email address, you know. Got it completely by accident because I was copied into the same email as somebody else. But I could just, ta-da, hello. I'll just, mind if I just drop in? Do you want to do one of these? Sophie Flanagan. Alex, we'll have to wait and see what Sophie's doing, Alex. I'm guessing she's going to be, Sophie used to be the casting assistant at Corrie. I'm guessing she's going to be focusing on her next job. So... We'll see, don't want to peck her head, but we'll see at some point if she wants to come on. Anna Maxwell Martin, who is just in everything, Sarah, isn't she? Yep, definitely that's something we could look at. Maybe a presenter for a presenter workshop. Yeah, Stephen Bailey's hilarious. He's a comedian presenter, and I've known him a while, and he's doing lots of presenting now. He just opened for John Bishop as well. As a comedian, I could maybe pull him in, Stephen. Dawn French, someone said, and Jennifer Saunders. Matt, I mean, freaking hell, that's good. That's high level thinking. I would love to chat to Dawn French for certain, absolutely. And Jennifer Saunders. I did a few read-throughs with Jennifer Saunders. She was in The Stranger for Netflix. I'm sure she played somebody's mum in that. Really interesting storyline. Right, there's lots to go off there. I'm getting loads. I'm getting absolutely loads. Right, okay, that's good then. Right, so that's thanks for that. We only need 6, but yeah, I've got a lot to go on. And if you've got any others, maybe I will create a post in the Acts on This Facebook group, and you can just smash them in the comments there. So we've got like a central place for all of them, because sometimes people email me and I get so many emails it's almost impossible now to keep up with everything. But let's try and make a lot of what you've said happen. And Liz says David Carpenter, met him at the weekend. He would be a good one for a chat as he's smashing it. Yeah, well, David Carpenter is a member of Acts on This. He joined 18 months ago. Never trained, basically had no idea how the industry worked. Jumps on every Acts on This mastermind session that we did, implemented all of the advice, and then landed a lead role in 6 episodes of ITV's The Bay Season 3. And I've done an interview with David, Liz, already. We've recorded it, that I'm going to put out for free for everybody, just to sort of go through his story. And then when The Bay actually airs... maybe the week that episode 1 airs, we're going to get... It'll be so cool because it's full circle. We'll get David on as a guest. Effectively, he's gone from being a member of the community to completely crushing it, to then being a guest. He's just booked a really big theatre tour as well. I don't know if he mentioned it, but I don't know if I'm allowed to mention it, so I won't. But he's doing really, really well. Definitely. So yeah, that's all good. But yeah, I will keep a post in the Facebook group so you can give us some feedback on that. What else? Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about as well. I've had a lot of requests. So many years ago, I launched a program for actors because I was getting lots and lots and lots of requests from people around their issue with confidence, self-confidence, not just in their acting career actually, but like in their life, like confidence in who they are as a human being, who they are, what they sort of like, almost sort of like deserve from their life, dealing with imposter syndrome, ultimately dealing with maybe tragedy that's happened in your life at some point that you've still not managed to work through. It's still ruling you and your psychology, maybe many years or even decades later. That's just the human condition. If you don't get a handle on that, or you're not taught, how to deal with, with life as it punches you in the face. And I brought out a mega course called Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success. And it was a big course. It was a 5-week program. You went through parts of it on your own. There was a VIP version where we jumped on for weekly training calls that go through each of the modules. You still do them on your own, but you get extra support each week. And I've not ran that program since 2015. In fact, if I go back over to the web, I'll show you. I mean, because it's freaking good. I want to redo it though. If I go to bulletproofactor.com, I want to remake this program. Oh my god, look at that! I've not updated the course since it says there registration opens in late 2020. It didn't, because obviously COVID was still kicking our asses. But basically, yeah, it's a huge program. 5 workbooks. I mean, there's 33 videos, 5 hours of videos. I took people, there's Rachel Shenton, she won an Oscar after going through the program. I'll take all the credit for that. There's all the information about it on bulletproofactor.com, but effectively, I know so much more now. I'm way more equipped myself. It's all based on science-backed positive psychology, so it's not airy-fairy woo-woo bullshit. It's ultimately the same kind of positive psychology that elite athletes use to break world records and push their bodies beyond what they think is humanly possible. You can, I know it sounds dramatic, but you can apply that to your everyday life and to your career as well. But I was wondering, obviously I don't want to, I'm not going to launch that version of the program again, because I look about 12 years old in it, and it's fine. The course is like, 6 years old, getting on for 7 years old. But what I was thinking is maybe I do a weekend intensive. I loved taking everybody through a program that I did recently called First TV Role Fast Track, which will be available actually as a standalone course. You'll be able to buy that soon. But I took everybody through it live on an intensive 2-day weekend, so it's more interactive, and people, it was all on Zoom. Everybody was able to sort of interact. I would love to do it would be sort of like, an intensive bulletproof acts. It wouldn't be quite as in-depth as the course that I previously did, because that was a 5-week course. But just to get people really like finely tuned when it comes to their mental game and their psychology for 2022. Because I feel that maybe it's not using the pandemic as an excuse, because I think we're past that now. But I think maybe the last 18 months have been, really tough. I felt it, to be honest. They've been tougher than most years because of all of the external shit that we're dealing with, as well as our careers. Normally, your acting career is hard enough to pursue on its own. Dealing with all the external nonsense with the pandemic, and obviously, God, the whole world's gone mental, hasn't it, at the moment? Like, shortages of this, everybody queuing up for petrol that's not actually running out, but then they're making it run out. Well, let me know if you would be up for that. If I put something together, it'll be towards the end of this year. It'll probably be maybe the 1st or 2nd week of December or something like that. And it would really send you into Christmas completely supercharged, with clarity on what you need to do in January, feeling completely empowered, hopefully helping you deal with things that maybe you have been holding you back from your past, that you've never learned how to, truly sort of relabel and make a paradigm shift around the way you see those things, so that they can fuel you as opposed to hold you back in your life. Let me know if you would be up for something like that, because I would just love to do it. And I have had quite a few emails from people saying, that they're struggling with confidence, and if there's any advice I would have for them. There's loads of things that I can take people through that will just potentially change your life. I know that sounds dramatic in itself, but the things that I would be coaching people on changed my own life back in 2014. I wouldn't have grown this community, and I wouldn't be on this broadcast right now had I not learned those things all those years ago. So let us know what you'd be up for. What you'd be up for, if you'd be up for doing something like that. Let me know in the chat now. Sounds like a great idea, says Stephen. Sounds good, says Rachel. Yes, 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 that would be ideal, says Barbara. Because, yeah, it does seem, yes, please, would love this, says Kelly. Billy says he's interested as well. It's just, I see, and I'm guilty of this myself at times, but the thing is now I recognise it, and so I can smell out my own bullshit when I'm kidding myself that I can't do something. I'll know whether I genuinely can't do that because there's a practical reason for not being able to do that right now, or if it's just fear that he's trying to protect me from pushing myself forward a bit and actually asking for that thing, or, you know, pushing forward on that project, or just whatever it is. I feel that in a sense that myself, but there are some incredibly powerful exercises that you can take yourself through that will change your life. One particular is called 7 Levels Deep. That sometimes I take people through that program, and I know I shouldn't do it, but I always do it in like Starbucks or Costa, and generally it leads to tears and some deep emotional kind of stuff coming up. But after that, people aren't quite the same again. They really know why they are doing what they're doing when they go through that exercise, as in like what it is they really want from their life and why they must get it, why they must be successful. And I've had a massive jolt of mortality again this week. This always comes up for me. I don't know if you guys agree with this as well, but I mentioned this on the Rapid Fire Friday call with members on Friday. I had a call on Thursday night from one of my oldest friends, as in not old, he's only 39, as in one of my longest standing friends, one of my mates, Eddie. I had a call from his dad on Thursday night, and Eddie had been in for a relatively routine operation. It was a big operation, to be fair, because it involved his heart, but as far as hearts go, it was routine. It wasn't out of the ordinary, and there was nothing desperately wrong. There was just something that needed a valve that needed sort of a bit of attention. He was born with his heart in that way, and they just needed to go in and do something relatively straightforward as far as hearts go. But I appreciate there's no operation that's going to be it's risk free as when you're dealing with the heart. Cut a long story short, things went okay, but then some other stuff happened during that week that resulted in him having a huge heart attack, and it's absolutely tragic at the moment. He's currently ultimately on life support, waiting for a heart transplant. He's got 2 weeks to get strong enough to be able to go through with that. And his dad said that currently the prognosis is less than 50%. So it's horrific, basically. Constantly on my mind. We've all got to send positive thoughts to Eddie. Eddie Waring, his name is. He's a total legend. He's such a nice guy as well. He's been a nurse for years. He spent his entire, sort of like last decade looking after other people. If you could spare a thought, I don't know how the world works with energy and in mysterious ways, but if we could all put some positive thoughts out there, some positive vibes for Eddie tonight, that'd be amazing. But it's really, again, giving me such awareness around what's important in my life, why I might be holding back in certain areas, why none of the shit that we worry about is really worth worrying about. It's all completely pointless, really, in the grand scheme of things, how grateful I am for the things that I do have, how I should stop longing for the things that I don't have as if like I'm less than without them and I need them to feel good or whatever. It really has woken me up again, as any time anything like this sort of happens as well. And a lot of the stuff that we talk about in Bulletproof Factor helps you have this awareness all the time so that you don't just have it when life punches you or somebody you really care about in the face. So I'm just a big advocate on really, empowering actors to get out of their own way, because there might come a point where life really is the thing that's in your way. But right now, I know for 95% of actors listening to this or watching this that the only thing stopping them from having what they want is themselves. They are the obstacle. It's not the things that they're saying it is. It's just fear and people afraid of rejection or being embarrassed or being, putting time into something that doesn't quite work out because they don't get the outcome that they want, or, seeing things as failures as opposed to like lessons and things that they're learning from. So I would love to, that's quite a long story, but if people are interested in sort of going deep on that, again, let me know in the chat, and that's something that I would love to put together definitely before Christmas. Josh says sending positive thoughts his way. Thank you, Josh. Same for Alex and everybody says this is what's so good about the community. No, it's a really, really big deal. It doesn't get more serious than this. There's been, we've had some crazy losses even in our community over the last 2 years. Eric James Dean was an incredible member of the community, great actor, and one of my best mates. We lost him, over a year ago now. My mate Patrick, and none of these guys are old. Eddie's 39, he's a week younger than me, and right now he's struggling. He needs a lot of help. So it's sort of, we've all got to. It's cliched, isn't it? But really got to live more presently, because you just don't know, what's going to be thrown at you. So thank you for all of the positive thoughts. That's amazing. He'll really appreciate that, honestly, and so will his family. So that's really cool. Thank you, Indra, sending positive vibes as well. Cheers, everybody. So that was on my list. Bulletproof Actor. If you want to, you can get on, if you want to show your interest, if you go to bulletproofactor.com, get on the waiting list. It's technically the waiting list for something that's not now going to come out in its form that it's on the website, but at least I'll have your email address, so I'll be able to email everybody on that list if I'm going to do something like that. Other thing I wanted to ask the community, we do our monthly socials on Zoom at the moment. So if you're not a member of Acts on This, one of the other things that you get from the community is you get to take part in a monthly social event with all the actors in the community. You get to meet actors, literally some of the most long-term, deepest friendships I've seen have been made over the last decade in this community. People really look out for each other. You'll get to see people jumping on the live calls that we do with the casting directors and agents each week. And then you'll get to, you might see them and go, oh, I'd love to chat to that guy about the question that he asked. And then you'll get to see them at the meetup. Obviously, because of I'm not allowed to say the thing on Facebook because it affects your reach, but because of the thing that's been happening in the world over the last 2 years, we've not been able to do them in person. So they've been on Zoom. But I was thinking, depending on how we go, if people would be confident enough to take the meetings in person, maybe in November or December or both. I don't know how people feel about it. I am mega, mega, mega cautious when it comes to groups of people, and still, I'm double vaccinated, but I'm still very, very wary because there's still, a friend of mine ended up in intensive care and he was still double vaccinated with the Delta variant. So I'm still incredibly careful, but I thought I'd put it to the community and see how you guys are. We'd do it outside, as opposed to all jumping inside somewhere, which means that maybe the December one might be better, because I don't know though. I was going to say we could go to the Christmas markets, but I don't know if they're going to be open. We have to play it by ear, but it was great to meet everyone in person. So I thought maybe we should do at least one before Christmas, so let us know if you'd be confident enough to do that. Let's have a look. It looks like people are saying that they'd be up for it. And Josh, he says, no way. And Alex says it actually changes the algorithm if you say the word. Yeah, if you say that word, Facebook will pick up on it and potentially not put your broadcast out to as many people via the algorithm in case you're spreading misinformation about that word. So you all know what word I'm talking about. So yeah, I try not to say it on live broadcast, but sometimes I forget, and and it does come out of my mouth. But Emily says yes. And loads of you guys obviously met each other at the filming for White Wedding, didn't you? So yeah, you'll have met each other up in person for that. But yeah, people are saying would be good to meet people if it's outside. Indra says yeah. Not sure yet, Christian, in terms of when and where, but it would be the first Saturday of either November or the first Saturday of December. Where? Central Manchester. Exact venue, I don't know, because ideally, yeah, I think to make everybody comfortable, we'd do it outside somewhere. But there's loads of beautiful places in Manchester to sit outside if you wrap up warm, and we can all have a large Starbucks or a hot chocolate or a Bailey's hot chocolate if the Christmas markets are happening or something like that. So I thought I would put that out there. Everyone's saying, yeah, Christian says that would be brilliant. Sounds fun, says Billy. So yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. We will look at that. What else is on my list? Oh, Instagram competition. Right. This is the last thing before I throw it over to you for a bit of Ask Me Anything. It's supposed to be Ask Me Anything, and all I've done is ask you anything tonight. But what I want to do, I am on the scrounge here, right? There's no two ways to put it. I'm going to go back over to my web browser. I'm going to go on the Act On This Instagram account. If you go to, on Instagram, basically, if you search for Act On This TV, or on any social media platform, you will see you'll be able to find a platform, not a platform, a profile for Act On This. It's always Act On This TV on every single social media platform, basically. You'll see the amazing content we're putting out here. I mean, look at all these videos. Look at all these funny little posts. That was quite funny. Petch made me this today. Shout out to Lee Petcher. He's sort of like the community manager. He produces stuff for me. He edits video and things like that. You all know Petch. He's a bit of a ledge. He edited this picture of a garage today. He even put, you won't be able to see it there, but the price of the petrol, he's actually got the annual membership price for Acts On This, the monthly membership price for Acts On This. He's got a Costa Coffee thing there. He's changed the garage and the logo on the garage. I was like, Petch, you put far too much stuff into that. But it's just a meme. Going acting career, running low on fuel, panic, buy your Act On This membership now. But we put out little clips of content on there all the time. Stuff that's going to help you, whether you are a member and you can afford a membership or not. If you follow this account, you will get value. But I'm currently on 7,241 followers. I need 10,000 followers on this account in order to be able to include links to features on actonthis.tv in my Instagram stories, which I know will help spread awareness of the site and make it easier for you guys to go and see things on the site via my stories by just swiping up rather than me, having to tell you a web address to go to and you have to type it in and maybe misspell it or whatever. So if you're not following the account, will you please, it would mean the world to me if you've ever got any value from anything I have done, to just go and follow me on Instagram right now. Follow Act On This TV on Instagram. But to help sort of promote that and get more people on board and maybe slightly ethically bribe you guys to spread awareness of that Instagram profile as well, I'm happy to run a competition on Instagram between now and Christmas where we give away some cool stuff. Last time I did this, I gave away a whole self-tape setup, which included... What did it include? It included a tripod, it included some lights, it included a great microphone from Rode Mics. I can't remember what else. It was about 250 quid worth of stuff, though. I'm quite happy to do something like that again, but I've done that once. I was wondering if there was anything else that you guys really needed that you thought would be a great prize. I mean, within reason. I'm not rolling in it. That would be a great prize to ethically bribe people to follow the Instagram account. So let me know what you would need. I mean, do you need maybe just to pay for your spotlight? Would that be a better prize than getting you something like, some self-tape equipment? Would you want, try to think, I don't know, like, God, I'm trying to think what else you would need, like a headshot shoot, maybe. Maybe, it's a bit expensive. I could say maybe I could get you a showreel scene with Chris Stone, but that's probably a little bit out of my league. That's about 400 quid. I could go halves with you. I'll give you 200 quid towards a showreel scene with Chris Stone, or something like that. Everyone's saying a job. I would love it if I could get you a job. If I could give away an acting job, just go, listen, share this and I'll get you a gig on Coronation Street. Oh, Gabby's got a good idea. She says maybe a 1-to-1 with a casting director. That could be, I mean, that could be quite an interesting prize, or a few. Everyone's asking for petrol. I can't get you petrol. It's made me happy I don't drive this week. I'm like, yes, don't need to worry about petrol. I'll just walk. A meet up, and it says Max says a meet up with me and a chat about whatever you want. I mean, Max, that's a low ball prize. I mean, if any people would want that, but I don't know how valuable I would rate that as. I'd do that with a cash prize as well if I was going to do that. So you feel, like you've got value. And yeah, in Inez, it's all about ethically bribing. I'm not going to bribe people without knowing they're being bribed. I think that's fine to do it if I'm aware and you're aware that I am doing something for you in order for you to spread awareness about some of this. I think that's all good. Mandy membership, says Emily. That's something we could do. Personal tailored advice. I mean, I could do that. I mean, I'm happy to do that for any member of Acts on This for free, though, Max. If people join the Rapid Fire Friday Zoom sessions that we do for members, I'll always do that, mate, for nothing. Headshot shoot would be good. A headshot shoot with Tony Blake. I could definitely do that. Tony's too cheap, man. Tony, he's just the best. I'm sure he's still under 200 quid for a headshot shoot. I could definitely buy you a headshot shoot with Tony. 6 months Acts on This membership. I could do that, Rob, but most people are going to be members anyway. I mean, I could do that, though, but those people who are members, yeah, I mean, I could just, I don't know. I don't know if you'd want some actual real life stuff, but we could do that 1-to-1. Or maybe we do like a little package of things, you know. Could do 3 months of Acts on This, a headshot shoot with Tony, and a 1-to-1 with Emma Crompton or something like that. She does some great 1-to-1. She's brilliant, Emma. An IKEA desk chair. You mean like this one, Robert? I've got a cracking IKEA desk chair here. Showreel scene with Chris Stone, a headshot with Tony. Carrie. I mean, that'd be 600 quid. I could do half a showreel scene with Chris. But I could definitely do a headshot shoot with Tony. Maybe I'll do a little poll in the Facebook group. See what what people think. We shall see. Emily says free Acts on This membership if you're already a member. The only thing is, Emily, just to be completely transparent with you, it's people's memberships that will be paying for this prize. So to give people, I mean, although technically it cancels it out, doesn't it? It cancels it out, doesn't it? So I mean that would work as well. I just like, I don't know, something a bit different though. Maybe I get a bit more excited about things that aren't my own services. I should just rate my own services better, shouldn't I? A hamper of Ross's favourite films, says Cal. It'd just be what would my favourite films be? It'd just be, do you know what I'm looking forward to? It's not a film, but you just reminded me, Cal. I think it's the 5th of October. Did anybody watch season 1 and 2 of You on Netflix? Absolutely brilliant show. Season 3 I've been waiting for a couple of years. I think it feels like a couple of years, even if it's not. I think starts on the 5th of October. If you have not seen season 1 and 2 of You, just call You, YOU, on Netflix, watch it, binge it before next week. It is so freaking good. It really, really, really is good. It's about a guy who just gets himself into some sticky situations with women. And being a guy who is so terrible with dating, completely unlucky in love, I empathise with this guy. He gets himself into these positions where, right, and I'm not advocating this at all, he ends up having to kill these women, right? However, right, he gets himself in these situations where you go, oh God, you can see how it's going to happen. And you go, no, oh God. And it's not done in like a weird sort of like psycho way. You just end up going, now he's going to have to kill her. Oh my God, now he's going to have to kill her. Oh God. Because things happen where you just like, no, don't do that. Don't say, oh God, right, she said too much. It's brilliant. It's sort of like you're constantly on the edge of your seat going, everyone he meets, just don't kill this one, or don't have to kill them, or don't try and kill him, or whatever. He ends up in really unfortunate situations where he has to like kidnap people, and like, it's crazy. It sounds dark. It's not like that. It is, I guess it's kind of dark, but it's done in a way that does, it's not like a horror film. Or anything like that. You just go, oh God, that was unlucky. Now look what's happened. It's something that I could see myself getting into. Not actually killing people, by the way. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. It's just a great show. Let me know if you've seen it. Alex says it's amazing, and he says so is Sex Education. You know, Sex Education, Alex, is something I have not watched. I saw a couple of eps because I wanted to get Lauren Evans on, who's the casting director. She's incredible. She's done some great work. But I need to watch more of that, definitely. Otherwise, I'd be like, I would not know what I was talking about on the session. But I will definitely have a look at that. And anybody else who's got any recommendations for Netflix shows, shout up. It's always good. Does anyone find though, as an actor, maybe a few years ago when you decided to really go all in on your acting career, and if you haven't, commit to it, right? Come on. You stop really being able to watch things as a viewer because you're just looking at like shot composition or the way they've done it, or if the actor's looking for the mark on the floor, or like, you know, just the technical stuff. Occasionally I can get lost in something, and that's when I know it's really, really good. That's how I know You was so good, because I really watched that for the first time as a viewer. I wasn't watching anything else, or the special effects, or how they'd done something. But it is interesting when you really get into this industry, how suddenly you look at things differently, don't you? You watch things a little bit differently. And Alex says, I am missing out. Right, well, I'm gonna have to watch that, Alex. Maybe that's my next thing. That I will watch. White Lines, right? Yeah, I've only seen a couple of episodes with Danny Mays. I had Daniel Mays on Acts on this a while ago. I need to get Danny back. He's just doing great work all the time. Vigil, I've not seen. Everyone's been talking about Vigil this week. Not freaking seen that. Need to see that. There's so much I've just not had time to watch. I need to have a week off. I think what I'm going to do... Oh, one thing that might give me a little bit of time off, actually, is, you know, we did the podcast. Me and Petch did a podcast together where we basically just spoke about behind the scenes of Acts on This, everything we'd learned over the last 2 years. We got onto topics about everything, basically, but it was just a really deep, honest chat about life, acting, the industry, Acts on This, everything in between. And it was a pre-recorded feature that I put out in place of one of our live Zoom sessions, because that in itself obviously took quite a lot of time to record and edit and get ready for you guys. So I didn't have time to do that and a Zoom session in the same week. The feedback on it has been really, really great, more than I thought it was going to be. So let us know if it would maybe be like one a month in place of a Zoom session, or one every 6 weeks or something like that. If you would like more of that, it wouldn't always be me and Petch. It'd be me and, you know, someone from the industry, an actor, a director, a casting director, an agent, or whatever. Maybe even someone from the community, you know, who's landed a good job recently or something like that. Let me know if you think that is something that you would like, because then there's no pressure to turn up at a certain time to be there. Obviously, you get to watch everything on a recording anyway for the live sessions, even if you're not there. You still get access to all the recordings, but we can go a bit deeper in those podcasts than we probably could do on a Zoom session. You know, maybe we could even phone people. I used to do that when I was recording podcasts. We'd phone people from the community and get you guys to sort of jump on the phone as well and sort of have a bit of input in the podcast as well. So let us know, if you want more of that sort of stuff as well, because I was quite taken aback by how the comments had so many lovely comments about it. Liz says, love the podcast. Rob says, like that idea. Get someone on from the community. Nice one, Monica, as well. Thanks, Monica. It's a great podcast, by the way. And Alex wants me to watch Good Girls on Netflix as well. That's also great. Just so many good shows, isn't there? So many freaking good shows. This is what I mean. So can you see when people are like, oh, it's quiet, innit? It's quiet. No, it's not. The reason you think it's quiet is because, with the exception of you guys, I'm not saying this now, everyone's recommending Netflix, but because so many people are watching Netflix, they're not putting enough time into getting on Netflix. And they're almost sort of leaving it to chance and powerful other people. And we know that your destiny is not dictated to by chance or by powerful other people. It's a direct result of the action and the specific action that you take to get the result that you want. But most people don't get the results that they want because they don't truly know what the results are that they want. People, every time I meet an actor, I'm like, so what are you looking for right now? They can tell me what they don't want, but they can't honestly tell me what they want. They can't say, no one ever says, when I say, oh, so what are your goals right now? They always say to get more acting work. I'm like, well, it's just a pointless goal, isn't it? Because what does it even mean? No one ever comes out really first time with, oh, my goal right now is, 3 to 6 lines, on Casualty or Holby or Doctors, because I've just done Coronation Street and Hollyoaks, and now I've got my reel ready, and I know I'm going to send that to Emma Sylvester and Stephen Moore and John Cannon. And people don't get as specific as that, and you need to get as specific as that, because you'll always wake up knowing what it is you've got to do that day, as opposed to thinking, I just don't know, I'm trying everything and nothing's working. That's why, because you're trying everything. There's probably 3 things you could be trying that if you laser focused on would work for you, but because you're trying everything, you're going you're a mile wide and an inch deep, as opposed to an inch wide and a mile deep. That's how you get results. So maybe we'll do a podcast on that. So watch Netflix, but don't watch too much of it. because we all want you on Netflix, remember. Definitely. What are you saying here, Alex? Yeah, right. So there's a really good point, Alex. So you have seen casting directors tweet things saying that it's not back to normal yet. However, right, I would look at the casting directors who are tweeting that as well and see where their primary source of work comes from. Look at their IMDb, look at what they've worked on previously. Have they done a lot of theatre alongside their TV? Now, for them, I can truly understand it's not back to normal. But the people who are casting high-end TV have been absolutely swept off their feet. Look at Carleen Crawford we had on recently, Daniel Edwards. Their offices are juggling 5-6 projects at once. So just because, I don't want it to sound brutal, but just because someone has a title of something in our industry, not every casting director is equal. Not every agent is equal. Not every actor is equal. And they all have their fears as well, because they're all human as well. So we're all flawed as human beings. So, sometimes they may have allowed that fear to stop them going out and pitching for work. They're not invincible just because their Twitter profile says they're a casting director. So always look at who is tweeting what. I could write tomorrow that I'm an agent and go, it's really quiet, guys. I'm not though, am I? But someone sees that in my profile and goes, oh, he's an agent. He's saying it's quiet, so it must be quiet. Always do your due diligence. And just realize that, honestly, mate, if you really want it, it's out there. It's absolutely freaking out there. And don't wait to go and get it. Go and ask for what you want now, because like I told you before, my mate Eddie, God, he'd give anything. He's not even an actor, but he'd give anything to probably be one right now and go, right, I'll take the pursuit of that as opposed to the Mount Everest sized mountain that guy's got to climb to get his health back. So if you've got your health, go out and use it. Thank you for being here. It's 4 minutes past 10. We've gone over and over and over again. But thank you. Really do appreciate you being here. Who's joining us tomorrow for Des Hamilton? Let us know if you're going to be there. It's going to be a cracking session. If you didn't see this before, tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m, I will be joined by one of the highest profile casting directors in the country, in TV and film, Mr. Des Hamilton, BAFTA-winning casting director of huge shows like Netflix's Top Boy, Jojo Rabbit, you can see on your screen there, won an Academy Award. The guy is just totally open to new talent, discovering new actors, and he's really, open to our community, and meeting people within our community, having people reach out to him, introducing themselves. We're going to find out exactly how you do that tomorrow night. We're going to open up his office, find out who works there, what their roles are, how you can get in touch, what they want to see, what they like, what they don't like. We've got 60 full minutes with Des, basically. He's super busy, so we've got 60 minutes with Des, and then we'll do 30 minutes where I'll probably bring Petch on. Me and Petch will be on, and we'll go over anything that, any themes, or, we'll sort of debrief on what Des has spoken about. That's 7:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. tomorrow night, which is the 28th of September. If you're listening to this or you're watching this after the 28th of September, the replay for that will be in the members area, so you haven't missed it. You've missed it live, but you get to watch the replay, and it will be freaking invaluable. I guarantee you that. So I'm going to love you and leave you. I'll just do one more sweep of the comments before we go. Thank you, Chris. You take care too. Thanks for being here. Max is going to be there. Let's have a look. Who's talking about Carmel Cochran for casting something? I don't know, but Carmel again, working on some really, really great stuff right now. Monica might be joining us while she's driving home. Can't wait for tomorrow, says Kelly. Looking forward to tomorrow's special. Says Nick. And Claire says I can't join live, unfortunately, as I'm at Inspire, but we'll be watching as soon as it's up on the site. Love the catch up. So it'll be there for you on Wednesday. By Wednesday night, Claire, it'll be up there. And shout out for your generosity, Claire, as well. Claire bought one of her friend's daughters a month of Acts on This to cheer her up this week because she's got COVID, unfortunately. So Good on you, Claire, for spreading the positivity. It's what we're all about. And Robert, yeah, the upload will be uploaded on the replay will be uploaded on Wednesday. By Wednesday evening, mate. As soon as I can get it online, I'll have it online. So thank you so much, folks. I'll play out for those people who missed the trailer at the beginning for Tony Blake's session that we held last week. If you have a headshot right now that you're not truly happy with, you don't feel represents you authentically, you had it took, you thought, oh, look a bit sexy in that, and then you chose it for the wrong reasons. It's not actually your casting type. You just look like that in one shot. Not that you're not sexy. Everybody's sexy. I mean, going to get myself into trouble by saying that, aren't I? I mean, like maybe you thought, ooh, I look a bit edgy in that picture, but that's not your true casting type, and you haven't got auditions off the back of that. If that is you, because we've all kind of been there at some stage, go and watch the full version of what I'm going to play you now over on actsonthis.tv. It will require a membership to the site, but you get access to hundreds of hours of these sessions, plus new ones every single week that we do live on Zoom. But I just think headshots is particularly important because no one really, I don't know if many people sort of look at them in as much depth as we did on this. Actors sort of think, oh, if I stand in front of a photographer, click, there you go, it's my headshot done. They don't think about their casting type. They don't think about who they're going to send it to now, imminently. Your headshot you're only going to have for a year, or you should only have it for a year. It should be like, it should be a tool. It's like a hammer. It's like, this is a tool for a specific job now. I'm not going to have it for 10 years. What roles do you need now? Where are you at in the industry now? Who do you need to get this headshot in front of now? What do you need from it? How can you get organized for that session so you get that? Go and check this out. It's well worth it's worth a membership, a monthly membership just for this. It could be the difference between getting auditions or not. So I'll play that now. Thank you for being here. I'll see those people who are going to be there with Des tomorrow night, and anybody else, drop me a tweet, or if you're watching on the replay, please tweet at actsonthistv. Let me know where you're listening from so I can say thank you for tuning in. Lots of love to everybody. I will speak to you all soon. Until next time, bye for now. Over 2 decades in the game, and in my opinion, the best headshot photographer in TV. Welcome back, Mr. Tony Blake. Tony, I'm so excited about this. How are you? This could be potentially the most important Zoom session that we hold this year. And I know that sounds melodramatic because you'd be like, well, Tony's not a casting director, so he can't get me a job. Like they're just headshots, aren't they? No. Why is it important? Because your headshot is very often the very first thing that casting directors and agents, if you're looking for an agent, are going to see.
Before you start, you need a pretty clear idea, of the direction you want to go in as far as, especially casting type. The most successful shoots are when people have a fairly clear idea of what they would like to achieve, and give or take a top or two, they bring pretty much what they need, and it's this is for this is for that, this is for that.
So this is called the NOW framework. N stands for need. The O, Tony, this is probably what you want actors to do, is for organize. The W stands for who.
What are we trying to achieve here? What do you want to leave with? Something that's this is very much a now picture.
Instantly, what kind of role is coming into your head? Because this is what casting directors are going to do when they see your shot.
Determined.
Yes, determined, yes.
Determined, focused, knows what she wants.
When I come, is it helpful to show you photos that I've had done before that I did like and didn't like, or is that not really relevant?
I know a lot of actors don't like to show their teeth as much, so that's why they smile, but they don't really like to show themselves. So is that a thing that is a requirement these days, or is it just do whatever it is?
Just be comfortable who you are in front of the camera, because your face is perfect for somebody. Everybody's individual, and it's important that you mustn't try to be anybody else.